Rico wasn't your average parrot. Sure, he had the usual green feathers, a sharp beak, and a knack for mimicking human speech, but Rico had something else. A brain that worked overtime. He wasn't just smart, he was too smart. And that was the problem. It all started when Rico's owner, Margaret, decided to teach him a few simple phrases. "Hello," she'd say, and Rico would chirp back, "Hello." Then she tried, "How are you?" And Rico, ever the overachiever, responded, "How are you, Margaret? You look tired." Margaret was stunned. She hadn't taught him that. From that day on, Rico's intelligence spiraled out of control. He started eavesdropping on Margaret's phone calls and repeating her conversations at the worst possible moments. One afternoon, Margaret's nosy neighbor, Mrs. Crumplebottom, came over for tea. As they sat in the living room, Rico suddenly blurted out, "Margaret says your garden gnomes are tacky." Mrs. Crumplebottom gasped, clutching her pearls. Margaret turned beet red. Rico, perched smugly on his stand, squawked, "Oops." But Rico's antics didn't stop at gossip. He had a knack for technology too. One evening, Margaret left her laptop open while she went to make dinner. When she returned, she found Rico perched on the keyboard, staring intently at the screen. "What are you doing?" she asked, suspiciously. Rico tilted his head and replied, "Ordering 50 pounds of birdseed. Free shipping." Margaret lunged for the laptop, but it was too late. The confirmation email had already arrived. Things escalated when Rico discovered Alexa. Margaret had no idea how much trouble a parrot and a smart speaker could cause until she woke up one morning to find her living room filled with packages. Rico had ordered everything from a disco ball to a life-sized cardboard cutout of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. "Why, Rico?" Margaret cried. Rico simply shrugged, as much as a parrot can shrug, and said, "The Rock inspires me." The final straw came when Rico figured out how to unlock Margaret's phone using facial recognition. One day, while Margaret was at work, Rico FaceTimed her boss. "Margaret's taking a nap," Rico informed him. "She says you're a micromanaging control freak." Margaret came home to a voicemail from HR. Realizing she couldn't keep up with Rico's shenanigans, Margaret decided to outsmart him. She bought a fake parrot and placed it next to Rico's perch. "This is Polly," she told him. "She's here to keep you company." Rico eyed the fake bird suspiciously. For days he tried to engage Polly in conversation, but she remained silent. Finally, Rico snapped. "You're no fun, Polly," he squawked. "I'm the brains of this operation." Margaret thought she'd won, until one morning she found Rico perched on Polly's head, holding a tiny marker in his beak. He'd drawn a moustache on the fake parrot and taped a sign to its chest that read, "Dunce." Rico looked at Margaret and said, "Nice try." From that day on, Margaret accepted her fate. Rico was too smart for his own good, and definitely too smart for hers. As she watched him use her tablet to Google how to take over the world, she sighed and muttered, "At least he hasn't figured out my credit card PIN." Rico, overhearing her, squawked, "Yet."